Yo, so I'm gonna briefly share with you what happened to me this month and what happens when God tells you no or tells you to wait. So, for the past 2 years, I've been working towards getting this job. Um, there's an aptitude test, there's a lengthy application process and interview process. And if you don't pass the test, you have to wait a whole year to retake. And for the past 2 years, I've been working towards this. Last year, unfortunately, I did not pass. So this year, in July, I got to retake this test, and I prepared. I worked hard to prepare myself. Um, I got a tutor. I mean, I really put in the time. I put in the work to make sure, come the day of the test, I was ready. I was prepared. And that's how I felt going into this thing. I wasn't nervous at all. I prayed on it. I've been praying um, for a long time, and in my mind, I'm thinking this. I have good intentions. The Lord knows my heart. The Lord knows that all I want to do is work hard, provide for my family. It's a great opportunity to not only provide for my family, for my wife, for my children, but also my parents, and to help them out. My parents are getting older, and I don't want them to work anymore. So I'm thinking all of this, and I'm the Lord knows my intentions are good, my heart is good, and in my mind, I was so ready for this test. I was already making plans and thinking ahead, and as if I'd already passed this test. I was already planning ahead. Well, unfortunately, about 3 weeks after taking this test, I received the letter, and unfortunately, I did not pass. And when I received that letter on a Friday, I opened it, and I was devastated. On my way to work that day, I'm I'm in tears, and I'm asking God, why, why not now? I don't understand why this happened. And I told God, I need a word. I need a word right now. I just need a word. I need you to help me understand why this happened, why you didn't allow this to happen. Like, I need a word. And for the past month, I was in a slight depression. I was at a low, spiritually low. I fell back into repetitive sin with the stress and the anger. I somewhat, I just broke down. And a few days after I asked God to give me a word, He didn't give it to me right then and there, but maybe a day or two after, I'm sitting in my daughter's room as they're playing and they're watching, you know, TV, and I'm just laying there, just depressed. I'm laying there, and my brother is in the next room, and I can hear him watching TV. I can hear the background, and I'm just laying there, and out of nowhere, Proverbs 16 just pops in my mind. I don't know why, just Proverbs 16. I don't even know what Proverbs 16 was. And right when Proverbs 16 popped into my head, in the background, my brother's TV, whatever he was watching, as soon as Proverbs 16 came to mind, someone on the TV said 16. Like perfect timing. I was like, what? That's weird. Could that be a coincidence? Is this God talking to me? I don't know. I was in my depression. I didn't get up and directly go to the Bible and open up the book to Proverbs 16. I didn't. I actually waited a couple days. I mean, I didn't even want to hear it at that time. And finally, I came around, and I'm trying to get up out of my slumber. I'm trying to, shake it off. These last couple weeks, I've been trying to get back to Him and asking for forgiveness. And my mom said one thing. She said, sometimes God just wants to see what your reaction is going to be. in the good times, in the bad times, especially in the bad times, how are you going to react? Are you going to be thankful? Are you going to be grateful? Are you still going to praise and worship even when the times are bad? And I got to say, I feel like if that was a test, I failed bad, and I'm ashamed of that. But for the past couple weeks, it was a rough couple of weeks. I'm getting out of my slumber, and I come around to Proverbs 16, and I read the whole chapter, and it took a while for it to click. And I've been reading it for the last couple of days, and there's a couple, I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but there's a couple verses that really hit me. Proverbs 16 verse 2 says, all the ways of men are pure in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the spirits. Verse 3 says, commit your works to the Lord, and your thoughts will be established. And verse 9 said, a man's heart plans his ways, but the Lord directs his steps. And as much as you might not want to hear that when you're planning something or you have these goals or whatever, if you want things to go right, if you're asking the Lord to bless you and bless what you do, it has to be in his time. And I'm learning that, as hard as it might be, because we want everything on our time. I wanted this job this year. I wanted things on my time. Sometimes God's going to tell you, wait. And perhaps I distanced myself a little bit, from just being depressed and being angry, and unfortunately I didn't react the way I should have. And then on Sunday I go to church, and I'm talking to God. This is towards the end of church, and I'm saying, Lord, forgive me, help me come back to you, help me come back to you wholeheartedly. I want to be near to you. I don't want this distance between us anymore. Forgive me. Forgive my reaction. I'm sorry. And this is after, at the altar call. And I'm praying this, and I'm on my feet, and I'm raising my hands, and I'm asking the Lord for forgiveness. And that my wife is next to me, and she goes up to the altar and is praying, because this whole process has been hard on her too. Financially, we've been struggling, and I see sometimes the stress on her face, and she's strong, but I know that the financial stress is hard on her. So, I'm not the only one that's been struggling. This has been hard on her too. And she went up to the altar, and I'm not really looking at her, but I have my eyes closed, and I'm praying. And what I'm telling you is what I was telling God. I was, Lord, forgive me. Forgive my distance. Forgive my reaction. Forgive me for falling back into this repetitive sin. Lord, forgive me. Help me come back to you. Help me be patient. Give me strength. Renew me. Restore me. Give me. You know what I need. You know my struggles. You know my stresses. You know everything, Lord. Just give me the strength. And there came a point where I was like, I'm closing my eyes, and I start saying, I was like, Lord, I just need a father. Like, just be a father. Right now, I just need you to be a father. Just please be a father. I must have said that like 4 or 5 times. And I said, Lord, just be a father. I just need a father right now. Just be my father. And I open my eyes, and my pastor is looking at me, and he's next to my wife praying for her, and he goes like this. Right after I said that, he goes like this and calls me up to the altar. So I go up, and he starts praying for my wife and I with another sister, and they start praying over us. And then my pastor directs his attention towards me and starts praying for me. And then he gives me this huge hug. And he hugged me and held me. And as he's holding me, he's saying these things like he knew exactly what I'd been going through for the past month. And he's saying all these things to me that it seems like he's directly talking to me about what I'm talking to you about. Like he knew everything that I was just going through without knowing what I was just going through. And it was 100% God speaking through him to me right after I had just asked him to be a father, to just be a father, because that's all I needed in that moment. My pastor held me and hugged me and spoke to me like a father, telling me not to give up, telling me to be strong. He knows how hard it is. Just don't give up. And all these things that I needed to hear in that moment because of everything that I had just been dealing with for that entire month. My Father was holding me and reminding me that He is with me, that He is my strength, and telling me not to give up but to move forward and be patient. The Lord knows what you need, and He'll provide it for you. But if it's not good for you, He might not. And we might be angry. We might be angry about it, but He knows what's best. And as much as that hurt me, it taught me I'm learning to have patience. And I'm learning to trust in Him more and more. But the love that He showed me, that He gave me when I asked Him to just be a father, and that love that I felt through that hug and that embrace, I mean, what else could I ask for? And I just wanted to share that with you. God bless you guys. We love you.